Hi everybody, it's Natalie here from Codurance, and I'm here with my colleague Rob Gray, our head of sales.
Hello.
Hello there, Rob. So we've now reached our 10th episode, which is very exciting. We're actually going to today talk about a phase that we call Optimise in the kind of migration and modernisation journey for businesses. I think some would probably sort of see it as a stage where we start to really kind of dig down into managing and governing our platforms and infrastructure. So we talked on the last episode about the migration and how migration phase should be something that's almost a kind of non-event. It shouldn't be something that's going to stop the business continuing to operate as usual. So we're now in the cloud. Probably seeing some benefits immediately from being in the cloud. But as we all know, it's really that point where we have to start thinking about kind of optimization to really sort of see the true value that the cloud can give you as a business. So, yeah, just be good to hear your thoughts on what does this mean? How can businesses really start to optimize their infrastructure and the way that they're provisioning their services to help their engineers build better and faster and deploy applications to their customers in a better way.
We've gone through quite a lot of effort to, number one, get into the cloud and to ready your organization and to align your organization to actually make that move once you're there. I think what a lot of organizations then neglect is the fact that moving into the cloud, again, whether it's just a very simple lift and shift or whether you're iteratively moving and you're codifying infrastructure, and we can talk more around the modernization side at another point, is that's just the first step. You've then got lots of different areas within cloud infrastructure that can continuously evolve and continuously adapt and modernize itself effectively to get better and to respond. Whichever cloud environment you move into, the services from those cloud providers are constantly evolving and changing, or there's new services which are being brought out which are more efficient and optimized potentially for your service or your workload. So there's trying to kind of keep on top of that as well. And you look at, every organization we speak to have certain concerns, or they're looking at certain pillars. And this can tie into the well-architected review that we run to ensure that your infrastructure in the cloud is well optimized. And it's things like security, it's things like cost optimization or performance efficiency. These are all really important things for an organization, but they shouldn't be trade-offs with one another. It's a fine balance that you need to try and find between being secure, having visibility and the kind of monitoring side to understand how your environment is actually working in the cloud, the cost side that comes to it. Are you paying the right amount for the usage and what you have in the cloud? And you constantly need to monitor that. And there's a lot of trying to find the right business KPIs for you that you want to see coming out of the cloud, that you want to monitor, that's going to evolve as your business does as well. We work a lot with healthcare and with fintechs, and they're extremely regulated. There's a lot of legislation within these different organizations, which means they have to have certain security parameters or performance related metrics in place, more so than some of the SaaS companies that we'd work with or some travel organizations. So there are going to be differences for every organization, but optimization really is really understanding that once you're there, is your cloud environment or your workloads in the cloud running as efficiently as they possibly could across a number of different pillars?
Yeah. I guess it's in a way thinking about, like, obviously all the cloud providers have these great sort of tools and dashboards to be able to give a lot of visibility on how your systems are performing. And I guess it would be a bit like, on-prem, you're driving a car with no dashboard whatsoever. You have no visibility on how that car is performing under the bonnet. Whereas, modern cars have, computerized systems that give you all this information about how your car is performing and gives you even tips on how to optimize its performance. So I guess that's kind of a great analogy, right?
That's an awesome analogy, and I'll tie that back to a personal story where I was we had a Kia Sportage a number of years ago, and the engine blew up on it because the oil light never turned out. There was no oil in the car. So that happens, people. If you have no oil in your car, anything from this, go check you've got oil in your car.
Definitely.
But the engine light never came on, so long story short, we ended up having to scrap the car because it was completely dead. But exactly that analogy, having the awareness of what's happening under the hood through that monitoring or through that control panel, it gives you a number of things. It gives you peace of mind. It gives you the ability to know when you are kind of hitting a certain low or high within a parameter for whatever you're looking at. In that case, let's say oil. But it's also, once you've kind of been stung by not having it, you realize how important it really is to have.
Yeah. So it just shows you that kind of there's a lot of buzzwords, I think, around, the cloud, around sort of observability and monitoring and, data analytics. But actually, in reality, these are critical to keep these businesses optimized and, as you say, saving money, being secure, and making sure that they can continue to perform at an optimal level. Brilliant. I think that's a good place to end our conversation today. I think next time we're going to dig into the modernisation phase, which is where all the kind of fun, exciting stuff happens. So we'll talk about that a bit next time. Thanks so much for your time, as always, Rob. It's always fun and interesting to talk about these cloud-related topics. If people want to follow us, we're at Codurance, or reach out to us at Codurance or hello@codurance.com, or reach us on our social channels. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Bye.